What's happening, investors, and welcome back to another video. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and in this video we are speaking about one of our favorite stocks on this channel, that is of course Senseonics Holdings, ticker symbol SENS. There is a lot to speak about. I want to talk about the FDA date. Okay, I made a mistake in my last video. I want to clarify that. I want to talk about the stock action, and I also want to talk about what could potentially happen after the FDA approval and why I think so. Before we do though, to those new to the channel, my name is Dean. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is not financial advice. I just make these videos because I'm someone who loves researching and investing in stocks, and the reason why I do that is because I want to try and make as much money as possible in the stock market. And I thought, hey, since I'm doing this research anyway, why not put these videos out there on YouTube and maybe help some of you guys also. And all I ask in return is that you please destroy that like button. Let's try get this video to 200 likes. With that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. Let me tell you, it is a nice time to be invested in Sens because the past few days have been treating us absolutely fantastically. Green, green, green. And what is crazy is this is something that I've seen across the board in stocks like Sens, stocks like BNGO, Atos. Okay, we are seeing a lot of green recently, so I do think that a large reason for this move is just a broader market thing. And if you know me and you've watched my videos in the past, you will know I like to classify Sens stock the same as stocks like BNGO and Atos because they're stocks that are penny stocks, they're high risk stocks, they're stocks that are typically spoken about on YouTube. So they do have a lot of followers and a lot of people speaking about them. So I do tend to classify them in the same bracket. And what we're seeing here is very similar price action. I mean, the past 5 days, BNGO 13.42% in the green. Atos over the past 5 days, 13.46%, and BNGO 15.5%. And Sens 15.53%. So Sens is the big winner, but they are very, very similar numbers. Now, I do think this is something we are going to continue to see. I do think we are in a bull market right now, which is something we love to hear. And I just think that we can see a bit more green in the future. I will say, if you're thinking of opening up a position now, be wary because, as you can see, we are up a fair amount and we could decline. So if you're looking to buy in, of course, this isn't financial advice, but I always say try average in and don't put in more than you're willing to lose. You need to realize that this is a high risk stock and there are a lot of factors that need to happen for us to get the gains that we hope to get. Now, when I say high risk, I do believe in this company for the long term. I do see the future. However, we are pending on an FDA approval. And although I am bullish that is going to happen, it may not happen, and we know if we don't get that FDA approval for whatever reason, this stock will crash significantly, and you don't want to be left with putting in more money than you're willing to lose. It doesn't happen for whatever reason, or it's delayed, and that could really affect your portfolio. So that's not something that you want to do. I always stress to be diversified. Now, with that FDA approval, and this is what I want to clear up, originally the FDA approval was set for around mid-October, okay? That's what we worked out. It normally takes 180 days. 180 days from the application put us around mid-October. However, in the last earnings call, what we heard the CEO say is they're aiming for end of year now. So it does look like it's being pushed back, not by much. And the reason for this is because the FDA is backlogged now with the coronavirus and things like that. There are a lot of things that need to get approved, and this backlog is affecting all companies across the board. This doesn't mean that there's anything bad about the Eversense. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's nothing to be worried about. The FDA is an external organization. All we're saying is expect a potential delay. And in fact, they mentioned this in the first quarter earnings call. They said there could be a delay and they wouldn't be surprised if there was. How does this affect the stock price, in my opinion? Well, as long as everyone knows, especially the people who are looking to swing trade this news, as long as everyone knows that this has been delayed, I don't expect it to affect the stock much. However, if people are expecting it for mid-October and nothing comes out, the stock could sell off because of people worrying or stressing out that for whatever reason we didn't get that FDA approval. If that does happen, I am definitely going to use that as a buying opportunity because I think that will be a fantastic buy point if the stock does crash of this news that isn't really any news. It's just people getting scared, particularly because it will be around the corner from the FDA approval. And we all know that FDA approval could be absolutely massive for this stock. We could go over 100% from where we are today, but that isn't financial advice. This is a high risk stock. Please keep that in the back of your mind. I want to cover an article that recently came out from Investor Place about Sens, and it goes, Senseonics can move higher, but competitive concerns abound. Now, first and foremost, a few people in the comments of my last video were saying they've noticed a lot of ads coming out from Dexcom. Dexcom's making a lot of ads for their CGM, and it's as if they're really starting to ramp this up. So I do think it is fitting that we speak about this article right now. Basically, the article goes on to say that Sens has a superior product, okay? Sens is the only CGM with implantable vibration monitoring. So if something goes wrong, the vibration alerts rather, it will vibrate to let you know. Also, Sens is very, very accurate, okay? We've spoken about this many, many times. Sens is very, very accurate. So they could be the best product in this industry. And according to Greenview Research, the market value of CGM device industry this year alone, is approximately 5.28 billion. But by the end of 2028, it could almost double to 10.36 billion, presenting a compound annual growth rate of 10.1% during the stated years. What does this mean? Well, it means that this industry that they're in is growing significantly, which is obviously very, very good for Sens. However, it also means that even if their competition, like Dexcom, continue to grow, there's room for both Dexcom and Sens to grow. Now, ideally, we do see Sens catch up and start taking away at that market share, not just growing at the same rate as Dexcom. But then the other argument is, when we've got the 180-day, when we lead into the 365-day FDA approval that only has one calibration a week, and that's the big thing. If you ask me and a lot of the people we've spoken to, a lot of the interviews we've seen, one issue that we get with the Sens 180-day is that it still needs to be calibrated quite oftenly with the fingerprints. While the 365-day, the goal is to have only one calibration a week, which is absolutely massive, and it does show the potential of this company in the long term. Now, say we get those things, well, then it could present the opportunity, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, however, it could present the opportunity for a buyout. We could see Dexcom come in and buy Sens out. Okay, that is one thing that we could see, and obviously that will be a lot of money for us investors. And yes, I am invested in this stock if you haven't been able to tell already. Now let's keep reading, and this is what we spoke about with the competition. Sens stock is in for a tough battle. Although Senseonics product offerings are intriguing, especially because of their long-term use profile, the company isn't the only CGM device manufacturer in town. With Dexcom and Abbott Laboratories in the mix, Senseonics will be plying its trade in contested territory. Obviously, there is a lot of competition, and the competition are big companies. That's not to say that investors should give up on Sens stock, but when you're competing against established blue chips, you should be prepared for potential volatility. And this goes without saying, okay? Any industry has competition, and if anything, when Sens has a superior product and the competition is so big, that's a good thing to me, because that tells me, look where this stock could potentially go. In fact, let's take a look. Let's just compare the market cap of these companies, remembering Sens is the superior product according to our research. Let's see where we could potentially go. So let's start off with Sens, right? Sens has a market cap of 1.66 billion. Dexcom, okay, Dexcom has a market cap of 50 billion. Abbott Laboratories, and these are both the stocks that article spoke about. These are both the competition, okay? 221 billion market cap, okay? Sens 1.6 billion. That is over 100x. Now, is Sens gonna 100x in 2 years' time? No. Okay, it's not gonna happen. It will take a long time. However, if you're long term, if you've done your research, if you believe in the company, and if things go to plan, okay, that's the other thing. Dexcom might come out with a new product that's even better, okay? Things like that could happen. However, if Sens stays competitive, if they're able to market it right, the partnership with Essentia works out, we could see massive growth for Sens stock in the long term. But you need to remember, if you look at Sens stock over the past year, the stock is up already massive. They're up already nearly 660% in the last year. And this was because it was considered a meme stock, and it did jump up around that meme stock phase. Now, I never considered it one. However, it was being spoken about and treated like one. Now, this doesn't mean the stock can't go up any further. But this does mean that don't expect 100x in a week, okay? I've told you guys multiple times, I am bullish on this company. I am invested in the long term, and I do think we are going to really ramp up, particularly towards that FDA approval date. And I said, if I see this stock going to maybe $10 a share, nearing that FDA approval date, I will consider selling some of my position and buying back in if there is a sell-off afterwards, because if we don't get that approval, there will definitely be a sell-off and the stock will lose value. So I don't want to be all in and then the stock crashes because of something going wrong with the FDA. Like I said though, personally, I do think we are going to get that FDA approval. I'm just being safe because that's the kind of investor I am. That is going to wrap up this video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please invest in that like button, add the subscribe button to your portfolio, and turn on notifications. Let me know in the comments, do you think that Sens will be fine on its own, or do you see a potential buyer? Do you see Dexcom coming along and buying Sens out? And which one would you rather? I will respond to each and every one of your comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.